I that's the only thing I could think of.
What are you
Dota
talking
2
about?
bug.
Ah,
It still applies the damage and still applies the healing, just not the stun.
interesting.
It Arn, it's a very weird specific bug where if someone has the thing that upgrades one of their abilities, and if they use that ability from on top of a very specific set of cliffs, well, I shouldn't say that, a specific type of cliffs, of which there are several in the game, one part of their ultimate doesn't function, but
Epic.
the rest of it works fine.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
All of the comments are people going, "What the fuck?" Huh. Okay, so Sneaky. It only doesn't stun if if it's going from there to the river. It also doesn't work from the fountains. So
Hmm.
it's only with the Ags, it's only from the ward cliffs, it's only from the fountains, and it only doesn't stun if where you cast it is in the river. Is it a map height bug? Yeah, I guess that's the only thing I could think of because that's what would prevent everyone else from getting stunned.
Sounds pretty whack.
Yeah. Well, and but the thing that's especially baffling to me about the bug Sneaky is that it uh the ult doesn't function normally if you end it early. No, it does not. Right, going going by the it's dependent on her getting to a certain spot in a certain period of time. Theoretically, if you could, because remember, um, Ags increases the channel time, and you can launch early. Theoretically, then launching early enough would get it to still work, but it doesn't. Oh yes, I understand. I'm sorry. Yeah. Right. Okay. Now I understand. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like if you ask when is a player going to do it, the answer is yeah.
Except for this specific problem. Yeah, it doesn't work. Coders hate this one specific thing. Players.
No, I mean,
Yes.
generally users. I mean, not even that, like, oh, hey, I'm gonna just park my horse on this rock and then pause for a moment. And oops, suddenly you cross the map, Skyrim style. Yeah.
Whoops! I'm crossing the map.
All right, boys.
I need a shot glass. I'll be right back.
Flashbang! God! Why did I turn
Did you
that
think
off?
fast?
I did not think fast. Hi, potatoes.
Unfortunate.
Wow,
Sneaky's
potatoes.
reflexes don't allow him to do that.
No, they only allow me to do that if I'm pulling the trigger on something.
Well, unless that trigger involves stocks.
Well, yeah. But that's different. That's different. I'm talking about guns.
Oh, I
ma-
see.
As Max found out. Remember that, Max? You were a hunter and you were about to jump on me and I 180 just headshotted you with a shotgun.
Thought you were gonna. To be fair, shotgun at point blank kills most things pretty quick.
I mean, yes, but still.
I hadn't had that happen to him in one of our versus games in the last couple of weeks. He jumped at me and took full buckshot to the head. He was very confused.
Yeah, because I was like, hey, where did all my health go?
Turns out things die when you shoot them with a shotgun. Quite violently.
Who knew?
Hopefully.
People die when they're killed!
Oh god, anyway, let's get on with it, gentlemen. Let's get on with it. I mean, that's become a total meme now. I've seen it in so many indie games coming out these days. But,
Shotguns not killing people or people dying when they're killed?
People dying when they're killed. That quote.
Thanks, Zero. Very cool.
Thanks, translators. Very cool. Oh yeah, speaking of translators, so Arn knows about this, but to those who are unaware of Azure Lane.
Oh,
So
boy.
You mean those of us who remain purposefully ignorant of one of the most pathetic gotchas?
Oh, hold on now.
It's
There
it's
is
probably the best gacha.
There is
far
worse
gotchas. Far
Yeah.
worse. Like FGO,
Azure
for
Lane
example.
has some of the best rates.
Yeah.
Basically, you get several pulls a day for free.
The devs
Yeah.
are
Oh
also
yes,
very
continue to
generous.
preach
Don't
to
have
me
to
why
worry.
your money-sucking game is better. Mhm.
I
No, I
don't
mean, like,
spend any money on
look,
it. I've had
yeah,
it fun.
Sneaky plays it.
I know
yeah.
Sneaky doesn't, but that's because Sneaky's not a simp.
Yeah. Well, sucks for you, no? Yeah,
But
it's
anyway,
a good
no,
game.
so
Like in gacha games. at least.
the story is hotly debated constantly. So
Yeah.
so there's a problem. So the game is originally Chinese, and then there is Japanese
Unfortunately.
translators, and then there's American translators. And the Japanese and American translators have a habit of taking liberties
Yeah.
with the translation.
Now, granted,
That's
it's
not
not
surprising.
animation. It could be way fucking worse.
Oh, it could be way worse, but some of them are pretty cringe. They've added things
Yeah,
in
well-
like sussy baka into dialogue.
Yeah.
They've had
God,
one
I mean,
well,
character.
To be fair, that dialogue is in the in-game social media parody thing, so it is not as like in the actual story.
It's not as egregious. They did have one character shout "poggers" and "holy pog."
Yeah,
but
I mean that
again,
is also
Yes, she's
meme
also
character.
characterized as basically, if she was real, she would be a Twitch gamer. So
Yeah,
it's like,
or, you know,
fine.
Being cancerous but acceptable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they've taken liberties in the past, and everyone's kind of just been like, guys, we really like if you didn't do it, but you know, it's like it's not too bad. But
Yeah.
sometimes they take excessive liberties with the translation, like wholesale adding in dialogue that didn't
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah.
And I assume
Oh,
these make
good.
it worse, significantly worse.
One of the dialogue lines that was added by the English translators was done by someone who fucking jacks off on one of the factions. Because they had this faction just inexplicably take a key shipping line for Great Britain. Just without Great Britain opposing them, apparently.
Yeah.
Can I
just took
interject
it.
slightly?
Yeah.
About the memes, if anyone on here watching the podcast is an author, never, ever, ever use memes in your story. You date yourself instantly, and
You
unless
do.
you're
Yeah,
South
you
Park,
kinda do.
you can't pull it off.
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends on how that works. Like, if it's supposed to be people of, say, 2013, and they're using 2013 memes, it's like, okay, yeah, fine. But if it's supposed to be like a 2013 time period story, and you're using 2020 memes, kind of cringe.
Yeah.
There's also the caveat
Only
that
kind
your
of.
audience is probably not going to understand those memes unless you
Well,
explain them, and
Right.
that you're basically wasting time and energy at
yeah.
that
Yes,
point.
But the issue with that
obviously-
is you're assuming your readers can actually understand anything.
Yeah, you're assuming readers are literate in the first place, but we all know readers aren't literate.
Yeah.
We all know that readers don't even count as people.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
I mean, dude, Alvor knows and I know really well some of the dumb shit people post, and it's just like, you goddamn idiot. How are you this stupid?
How are you breathing?
But,
Good question. They aren't.
But no, I think if it's natural for the meme to come up, like 2004 through 2010, you had the lol so random people that would literally say IRL memes. Like, they would say the meme out loud while
They were
talking to
truly
another
accursed
person.
beings, but they existed.
Confession time.
Yeah.
I have gotten into the bad habit of saying "lol" out loud.
I mean, that's generally one of
Now,
the least bad things you could get in happen.
I will say kek, but only to people that I know what kek means.
Yeah, same. And also other ones.
But yeah, I'm not gonna say to my mom like kek, like
Yeah.
she wouldn't get it. I wouldn't want to explain it. That
Well,
reminds
thank you
me
for
of a
letting me
game I
interject.
play, Gears 5. They had to nerf the shotgun class in PvE because players were using it to snipe enemies across the map. Well, yeah, I mean, if a shotgun's firing a slug, you should be able to do that.
Yeah. Battlefield.
Shotguns as a whole are kind of a
Battlefield 3,
problem.
alright, I'm gonna slap this times 16 scope, I'm gonna aim to the sky, headshot, headshot, headshot.
yeah.
Yeah, well, 40x scope in Battlefield.
Sky and let
yeah.
God sort them out.
Those
Snaky.
slugs got a drop on them, but damn.
Oh, yeah.
But like,
it does.
ironically, shotguns in games are generally underpowered compared to what they
massively
should be.
underpowered. Oh,
very
yeah.
much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Snaky,
definitely.
I mentioned I had decided to boot up Zombie Army 4 just to touch it on
Yeah.
Game Pass. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe I should swap secondaries.
that's on the
Siege
Game
Trench-
Pass now,
you know
isn't
what?
it?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
That gun does some work.
I mean, if it's on the Game Pass, Max, we can definitely play
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I've still got it till February 5th. Yeah, we could slog through that campaign.
Yeah.
What campaign?
Zombie Army 4.
Oh.
I want to support the game, except that they decided to go predatory practice with the DLC. More than half the good content
it's
is
like
locked
Also,
behind the
like
paywall.
if you were to buy all the DLC, it's like $200 or something.
Yeah. I think even if you go for like the deluxe editions, it's still something like 100.
It
50.
is so dumb how much they parceled out that game, and it's dead.
Wow, you might think it was a
Yeah.
game as a service.
Yeah, well, the game's dead
Yeah.
now, and they're not getting any money, so joke's
Yeah.
on them.
Sneaky, when I was looking at the sniper rifles, all right, cool. First off, my favorite Type 99 is not in the game, it
Well,
seems.
it's a DLC.
Second, you have a list of like 9 rifles,
Yeah.
only 3 of which don't have a price tag sitting beside them.
Ooh.
I'm just like, oh, how do I get these? $3.99. Ah,
Yeah.
no.
Wow.
You know what that is? Not okay.
Yeah, that's
Especially
not okay.
with the bevy of content we got in the first 3
Like,
Zombie Army games.
Again, I will support companies if they go the Battlefield 3 route and they offer shortcut passes. That is something I will give an allowance on. It's like, okay, I want to pay $30 just to unlock everything, but you can unlock it all normally. But if you just, want to skip, however many hours of playing.
Yeah, or you don't have time for that grind.
Right. And
Sure.
again, but the caveat there again, though, is you can't do what Destiny 2 did, which was make the grind so obnoxious that people paid to skip.
Yeah, that's not cool.
And it's just like, just stop being retardedly greedy. I'm fine with companies being greedy. It's kind of their MO as a company. Just stop shooting an Uzi into your dick.
No, they like it.
Well, the problem there is it's a bit of a catch-22. These modern companies are so very short-term, and every game has to have record-breaking profits. Otherwise, you're not profitable. You don't get your bonuses. Your team gets downsized.
Well, that's an entirely that is every person that allows bean counters to control their company and the direction of the company. They all get what they deserve.
Well, yeah, that's the natural cycle of things. The small indies hopefully get successful, good ideas. Eventually, they get too big, they get bloated, everything becomes corporate, and they fail because they become corporate. Look at EA. If it wasn't for the FIFA games, EA probably would have just had to gut half of its staff. It's only because 3/4 of the world are retarded for soccer.
Yeah, I can't comprehend it. Wow, there is an unfortunate amount of Glee stories.
Sneaky, no.
Don't get me wrong,
stories?
Glee. I'm not shocked by this information. I'm not shocked by this information. I'm not disappointed by this
normal
information.
Glee or the crossovers? Because there are some wild crossovers.
Oh,
that
God.
implies I want to look at a Glee crossover.
They're fun. Let's say.
All right.
Let's put that word.
Fine. Come on. Fanfiction, don't be ass. Wait, what are these crossovers? I'm sorry, what are the... Harry Potter... Why am I not surprised? Pretty Little Liars. Okay, that's kind of actually what I expected.
Actually,
Doctor
another
Who...
small aside. Pretty Little Liars has a lot of music done by the Pierces, and they're a really good band if anyone's interested.
Are there any Glee and Doom crossovers?
I would hope so.
Oh, there's got to be one.
There has to be one.
None.
Please,
Zero. Thank
none.
God.
Wow.
All right. Well,
I mean, I'm
Humanity slightly
happy.
improved.
all right, Potatoes. It's either time to write it yourself or go commission someone to do it.
Yeah.
Listen, this has restored a small but critical portion of my faith in mankind.
Like, these are the crossovers I expected. Pretty Little Liars, completely expected that one. Vampire Diaries, completely expected that one. Twilight Completely expected that one. Grey's Anatomy expected that one. Like these are all like the same section of people that watch those shows.
Check Glee Naruto. There should be a couple of those.
No.
I think so.
No.
Okay, how many of them are just a used? How many of them are just?
Treasure crossover?
Oh, Sneaky, you
Oh,
have
how?
to.
Oh, how does this one work?
I need to know.
Oh no, it
It
triggered
was
him.
a dark and cold and gloomy night when they met. Was it possible for these star-crossed lovers to ever find the true meaning of love? It's a story of love and angst and heartbreak. Romance angst story, 2 chapters, 100 words each. Why?
Because someone decided
But like these
that
are
they
the
were
ones I
going
don't
to
understand.
inflict upon the world something horrible.
I can grudgingly accept Harry Potter. It's just a popular section. You're just gonna get the crossover, right?
Yeah, I mean, like
Doctor
statistically,
Who?
it would be Harry Potter.
No. Look, okay, here's the thing. The whole point of Doctor Who is taking random take random schmuck A and expose them to strange mystical hoobahs. Right. So
Right.
sure,
But the issue
some
though
random
is that the problem here is that Glee is a massive cast, and the point of Doctor Who is a micro cast.
Right, that's
Not
what
the
I'm
last
saying. You
season.
can take some
Well,
random
yeah.
fucking shitlord from Glee
Uh,
and
Glee
put them in.
Supernatural, like what?
Again, the whole point of those is random schmuck A is exposed to is exposed to something in the supernatural.
Speaking of Glee Supernatural and Supernatural fanfics in general, how many of you guys have ever watched Supernatural?
I have.
No.
Why?
Did you?
I think I watched up to season 7, season 8, or no? What's the one? They fought the Grim Reaper. That's the last thing I remember.
They do that a lot of times.
Well, hold on. Was this they fought the Grim Reaper because he had manifested on Earth, or they fought the Grim Reaper because he was killing people again?
The second one. Which time
Why
was
are
the
they
Grim
fighting-
Reaper a chick who was salty at God?
Oh, that's the 3rd time.
Okay, yes.
Out of
So that's like
curiosity,
season
why
11.
are they fighting the Grim Reaper for doing his fucking job?
Oh, because he was the Horseman of Apocalypse, and they were trying to stop the apocalypse.
Which, to be fair, they did succeed at.
Let it come.
All right, well, fair enough, I guess.
And they were doing this because, spoiler alert, the show's been out forever. Sam and Dean are basically the chosen of God, and they're supposed to go around fixing shit.
They're the chosen of God and the devil.
Wait,
because God is a fan fiction writer.
Yeah,
the
so
whole
that,
series
so,
is literally
yeah,
God writing
this
fan
is
fiction.
this is the two parts that I actually really enjoyed about the
I was
later
gonna say,
parts of the
now
series.
here's the wild thing. They hadn't explicitly confirmed that by the time the Grim Reaper was a woman and mad at God for locking. She was God's
No, they
brother,
did.
and God locked her away.
Oh no! She wasn't the Grim Reaper. She was Darkness. That's actually season
Right,
13.
she was Darkness.
That's season 13.
Did I hear you right? She was God's brother?
She was God's sister.
Sister, yeah, right.
I mean, listen, they did occasionally mix up some pronouns.
I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, so no, Max, don't concentrate on that. So basically, the premise.
No, I'm not concentrating on that. I'm stuck on they're the chosen of God.
Yeah, I'm
so they
gonna
have
get
to
to that.
fix stuff.
Yeah,
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. The 4 horsemen are doing their job that God gave them. Why are they stopping the horsemen then if they're meant to do God's work?
Because the horsemen aligned themselves with Lucifer.
Basically, the horsemen were like, we are tired of waiting. Humanity, right? Max, you know how we all occasionally go, what if I just destroyed humanity because that's better?
There's a couple comments here. So let me before you get all angry and Christian on me, let me line this up for you.
No, I'm not getting angry and Christian. I'm just confused as to how people don't understand the basics of this stuff. Right. They don't have free will.
Well, that's another
Lucifer
part.
is the reason they don't have free will, in fact.
Right. So that's the other thing. So basically, God
What
went
the
AWOL. He didn't feel like
Wait.
being God anymore, so he went AWOL for a long time.
Yeah, he just
time.
Real
He-
talk,
Dead.
I would not blame him.
Max,
We're a
he
fucking
literally
mess.
just goes,
Yeah,
I'm
he-
out, and he just leaves heaven empty.
Yeah,
Oh.
and so the angels kind of like eventually get their shit together, like,
Wait.
okay, this is how we operate without God.
Wait, did the creators of Supernatural watch a lot of Japanese-inspired stuff? Because that was a
Yes.
super common trope in the 90s for
Probably.
JRPGs and shows.
It's possible.
Oh.
Because they did change writers 3 times.
Ah.
So basically, yeah, God goes AWOL, blah, 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 blah. Supernatural happens, blah, 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 blah. And later on in the story, like about 6 seasons in or something, they meet this author who writes this book series called Supernatural, featuring characters named Sam and Dean, that happens to cover exactly every event they've ever went through, and that was depicted as really weird. And they first covered it up as, oh, that's because this author's actually a prophet getting visions from God. It's very easy to pretend you're your own prophet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, later on it comes out that God, kind of just wanted to wrap all this supernatural stuff up and kind of got Sam and Dean to do it because they were convenient. Didn't really care about the world itself. He kind of was just getting bored. He was like, I kind of just want to wrap it all up. And, Sam and Dean did that for him.
So Maxwell.
Wait,
gotta
so did
understand
Sam and Dean then end the universe?
No. So, the spoilers for the apparently what I thought was the last season. They apparently made 2 more seasons after the 13th, which
Oh, don't you love when that happens?
boggles my fucking mind, because it ended on a pretty final note. Because basically, like, so eventually, darkness, I mean literal darkness, God is light, darkness is darkness. Darkness comes back and is like, alright, well, you locked away entropy, me, for a really fucking long time. I'm here to become entropy again. I'm now going to entropy. Starting with this world. And then because of how God did some stuff, she incarnated as a child, which rapidly grew, but because Dean was kind of around her the whole time, she sorta got a crush on him, question mark?
Yeah.
I'm so glad that's a question mark. Really, I'm glad. I can't see it. I'm smiling so much.
And so that
this
kind
show
of
is just a fucking mess. Holy shit!
Oh, it's an absolutely, like I said, they changed writers 3 times.
So there's 2 big problems. They suffer from
Only
DBZ
2
syndrome, and that everything has to constantly escalate. You have the demons, the leviathans, the angels.
The issue is the reason why they had to constantly escalate is because to solve the demon problem, they had to come, because originally at the start of Supernatural, they couldn't kill demons. They could only get the demons out of people they were possessing and just kind of call it a day there, and they couldn't really stop the demons. And so the natural progression to that, because you can't just have a show constantly about just being exorcising demons and then the demon comes back later because you didn't kill
here's
it.
the counterpoint, Sneaky. How long has the fucking Exorcist been going?
What do you mean, how long has that been going? It's a movie series and they're pretty shit.
I'm not saying they aren't shit, but like they're still going. Garbage though they may be, so someone's paying to watch the damn things.
Well, I mean, I guess, but I guess the show writers kind of didn't want to just be The Exorcist but a TV show.
See, that's the thing, though. They didn't have to be. You have literally almost infinite supernatural species to choose from. And the demons themselves, you don't have to just kill them. You can seal them, you can bind them, you can trap them, you can trick them, you can lock them up in
they did a lot of that with a lot of other things. It's just the problem is that demons are kind of demons. And they're kind of, you know, if you don't kill me, I'm gonna keep coming after you to kill you.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying I feel like it got
Depends
very
on
lazy,
interpretation
very
and which one,
repetitive.
but yes.
Basically, it got later sort of revealed that their idea of demons were both the original quote-unquote demons were like super powerful, but the modern demons that everyone has to deal with now in the modern era are just tortured souls who were tortured for so long that when they were given the opportunity to torture other souls in exchange for not being tortured anymore, they said yes.
Okay.
And
They
doing
became
that
fair
makes
enough.
you evil.
Well,
Oh no. Anyway.
you end up in hell because you're evil.
Oh no. Anyway.
Because there
Unless
is
you're Dean.
purgatory and there is a heaven.
They said
no.
purgatory is basically like hell because there are monsters there that will devour your soul.
Pretty much,
no.
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, point being, the reason why I even brought this up is there was two moments. So first off, they met their author, which was funny as hell. Second off, there was a episode in which they hear about ghost hauntings in a Scooby-Doo-like scenario at this school play, and something's happening that basically stopped this play from going. And so Sam and Dean show up, and the play is about them. And so they're trying to help stop whatever's trying to stop the play, and it's, like I said, it was a Scooby-Doo instance. But the entire time, the dialogue was great because they had to deal with literal fangirls talking about how hot it would be if Sam and Dean just admitted their feelings for each other and maybe Castiel can get in on it. To Sam and Dean.
I mean, hey.
Did they
why
know
not?
they were
They're
Sam and
fangirls,
Dean?
No.
right?
No, they just thought they were really enthusiastic cosplayers. Then there was
okay.
There was another episode which I did appreciate the writers of the show for this.
The game show one was pretty funny.
The Comic Con one where they went to a supernatural convention and everyone was dressed up as knockoff Sam and Deans.
Alright, that sounds pretty great.
It was pretty funny.
It had moments of humor, but it was not a good or effective horror show, in my opinion.
Yeah, no.
God, no, it was a garbage horror show.
No, it was
so
terrible
bad.
horror. I don't think it was supposed to be a horror. No, I don't think so.
Everything I've seen of it seems to be less horror and more like supernatural thriller, and it kind of failed at the thriller part.
I would say more supernatural action, maybe adventure. Because, like,
right.
Even the first season wasn't so much about horror or thriller. It was more about, like, trying to hunt down creatures killing people while also running away from demons who were really obsessed with Sam's dick.
Plus a little bit of platforming.
Yeah, some platforming was also
But let's be
included.
clear, the demon simultaneously was only toying with Sam, but also really did want that D.
Yeah. That's another thing I did like, that they just straight were just like, yeah, Samuel Colt was so good at making guns, he made a gun that can kill demons. And it's like, okay. Based.
He made a gun that can kill concepts.
Yeah, based.
What's next? He makes a gun that can kill God. The gun that kills the past.
They tried.
Damn it.
It didn't work.
Unfortunate.
Let's be clear, they tried.
No, they kind of just looked down at the bullet hole and they were like, well, so what was that supposed to do?
Cool gun, but
they were like, oh.
Cool gun. Unfortunately for you, I am in your walls.
Yeah, so
literally, the sin is stored in the balls, according to was that
stored in the balls.
Paul?
Yeah, it was according to Paul.
No.
Yeah, well, I said walls.
I was pretty sure it was Paul.
No, I don't think Paul said that one.
Who was it? Was it Thomas of Aquinas? So I know
it might have been Thomas, but I do not think it was Paul.
Gotcha.
Because it was Thomas who had to deal with It was Thomas who had to deal with Thessalonica, which
You guys all
Once again,
read all saw How to Train Your Dragon, right?
Yeah.
One of people's favorite things to go is, the Bible says women shouldn't be talking and they're all sluts. I'm like, you really need to understand the cultural context there, which is that we're talking about Thessalonica, which was in fact a city of whores.
I mean, I don't know, man. That second part seems to be pretty true these days if you look at Twitch.
I mean, Thessalonica is also Greek, which explains
a lot.
Everything.
So, have you guys ever read the books for How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah, but
there are books.
In Norwegian.
There are books.
So, there are books,
Yeah, so basically, How to Train Your Dragon the movie and How to Train Your Dragon the book are completely separate. There is no relation between the two besides names.
Yeah.
That is the only
characters too, right?
Sort of.
I mean, maybe the Norwegian version of the books were different, and I'm also going off like fucking 14-year-old knowledge here. But still, like, I'm fairly sure at least the same characters were in it.
No, like I said, the names were there. Like they were characters in name only.
Characters in quotation marks because obviously they don't act the same.
For example, Toothless is in the books a sprite dragon, so very very small. Yeah. And kind of a sarcastic, rowdy asshole.
Does it actually talk, or?
I think so, yeah.
I don't remember that.
If so, why didn't we get that?
Because that's not really family friendly. It's not really family friendly. Doesn't sell the toys. The moms.
Listen, as a '90s kid, that is patently false.
Yeah, but How to Train Your Dragon came out in like 2011, dude.
Yeah, I know, but '90s was the best, where it's like, oh hey, the super violent, lots of cussing going on. We could sell that to kids.
Yeah, I miss those. I miss that era. I miss that. Well, I miss the era when PG meant they could say fucking shit.
And it was up to the parent to explain it.
Yeah, okay, Sneaky. The movie came from, was out in 2010.
Yeah.
And the books came out in 2003. Well, the first one at least.
Yeah, I know. The movies came out way after. And it was a case of just, like, the movies being almost nothing like the books at all. Like, not even the plot was the same.
Yeah.
There's a lot more gore and murder in the books, from what I'm reading.
Yeah. The books are a little bit weird, and it's just like, okay.
I was interested in reading the books, and then you said that.
Yeah, no. The people that have watched the movie have gone on to read the books, and I've been in conversations with them, and they're just like, it's like the Aragon movie, but reverse. Where it's like, I read the books and got disappointed in the movie. Now it's like, I saw the movie, and now I'm disappointed in the books.
The books are like kid versions of what would be in reality absolutely horrific, grim, dark type shit.
Yeah.
I will say this: Hiccup reads like a junior Odysseus, so I can dig that.
Kind of a little bit, yeah. I've actually read a couple of good How to Train Your Dragon fanfictions, and all of the good ones, in my opinion, are ones that effectively just say "fuck it" to the Norse and just go explore the rest of the world.
No.
I mean, you're riding a dragon. Why the hell would you stay on a tiny island that's constantly racked by hurricanes? Like, Jesus Christ, you don't want to be British.
Like, straight up, there was one story where Hiccup was like, all right, let's escape.
That's why they left Britain. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, they were like, hey, all right, let's escape this island, and him and Toothless flew off to Fantasy Rome and just kind of enlisted as mercenary scout soldiers because he had a dragon, and the Romans were like, well, awesome. Fuck. How much did you say you wanted to be paid?
Hey, how'd you like to become a senator?
That is very much a please just name your price moment right there.
Did they really name a dragon Kamikaze? Damn, based.
Yes.
Epic. Yeah, because
they did.
That name is not the same in Norwegian.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it is, but yeah, based.
I mean, Night Furies are basically tactical missiles. That's like shit.
I mean, more like a stealth bomber.
No.
Except stealth attack aircraft.
I mean, it's a stealth attack aircraft combined with the fucking whistling on an artillery shell.
True.
It's something you can't see, but you can hear, and it terrifies you.
Yeah, it's like a based F-35.
It'd be like a stealth Stuka.
No, here's the thing. It's a based F-35 that can also give you a hug.
True.
Sort of, yeah. So, obviously the fanfiction section for this is wildly varied. You got really stupid shit like this. Blank Space V2, a rewrite of my modern take, my modern AU of Hiccup times Astrid. 3 years after 3 years of marriage, Astrid gets hit by a drunken driver who flees the scene. After emergency surgery, she wakes up with amnesia. Why would I read this story?
I guess if that's your OTP.
Now listen. If there's dragons all of a sudden, like, listen.
No,
there's no dragons. That's the problem. This is what I'm saying. It's like, it's not even like a in the modern day version of, you know, it's not like Thug Life of fucking hell. What was that one? Yeah, it's not like Thug Life Romeo and Juliet. Like, this isn't like
Which was simultaneously the
Romeo and
dumbest and best thing ever.
It was so good. It had no right being as good as it was. This is my piece. Its name is. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was such a fun movie. And like, well, how do they handle the sword thing? Oh, it's just a gun
It's
brand.
guns made by swords. The gun company, get the hell out.
My god, it was so fucking great.
Yeah.
The acting was pretty top notch too.
Yeah,
Fucking
actually,
Mercurio. That
I
version of
must-
Mercurio was the best.
I must go get a poison. Goes to the trailer park.
I forgot about that.
Yo, the whole thing was just, what if we take shots at every stereotype in America?
I mean, that's the morally correct thing to do in any situation.
It was,
Yeah.
but
It sure is a good thing you could find every stereotype in Florida at that time.
I know, right? But there was no reason for that adaptation to be as good as it was, and I solely hold to the fact that they just fully adapted it. They didn't like just remove everything out of Romeo and Juliet that didn't fit in the modern era. They're like, no, we're giving them fucking guns named after their swords. It's gonna be dumb as shit and fuck you.
Oh yeah.
No,
like
more
the-
importantly,
like
you're gonna
submachine
like
gun
it.
or some shit. And the rapiers are pistols.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, it was so good, but simultaneously just like ow. But because they fully adapted it, they took everything from the original and just modernized it. It was still interesting.
The only I think my favorite part is how the dialogue worked out.
Yeah.
Because they would modernize parts of it, and other parts, like Mercurio's death scene, his death scene, he still declares a pox on the houses. They still have that moment of that one jackass going, "I bite my thumb at you." It's like, this is 1990s Florida. What the fuck are you doing, dude?
It was so good because it's
But
like,
no,
oh, yeah.
but then they bothered to teach kids what "I bite my thumb at you" actually meant.
Oh, I
And we
know,
did
and it
that
was
for a
great,
while.
but it was still
hilarious, yeah.
stupid.
And but not only that, but the delivery was done in like a 90s punkish manner though. And it was like, oh, this is cool.
"Bite my thumb at you." It's like
Like-
what?
This is great, but I hate it. But like all of these AUs, all these modern AUs of Naruto and all these other fantasy settings, are like modern Game of Thrones AU, and it's just like, it's all cringe because it's not a modern AU. It's just taking those characters and their looks and their names and putting them in the modern era and nothing else. It's just like,
See,
well,
the
that's
one thing-
boring.
The one thing is, though, you could do a legit Game of Thrones modern AU. Like, make them competing industrial groups and
Yeah,
like
that wouldn't
focus
that
on
wouldn't
the
be hard at
idea.
all.
But like that's my point though, is they don't do that. They're like modern AU Game of Thrones, you know, the Lionheart Coffee Cafe is competing with the Bartharian Coffee Cafe, and it's like, what?
Why are they
Fucked up.
cafes?
By the way, they just like kill each other still though.
Like I kind of want to do that now. Like the
I thought it was a
fucking
cafe story, not a mafia
industrial
story.
group.
What the fuck?
And like what would the Tyrells be? Would they be like agricultural supply company, or would they be like a mega farm? Like
They would be what's that fucking mega farming company that does the gene modding?
Monsanto.
Monsanto. Yeah, they'd be like a
Yeah.
Monsanto.
So it's like the Tyrell version of Monsanto. Tywin Lannister's like some Blood Diamond and War Gold industrial group.
War gold.
Yeah, there's like fucking gold mines in like South Sudan or some shit, or the Congo.
Well,
and
no, I think the important part there is that you keep the landmass. That's another important part of doing any
Mhm.
sort of alternative AU of time period wise is you keep the landmass that it's taking place on.
I got you.
Yeah. Because it's just like, well, then what, like I said, it's like, it's just what's the point then? If you remove so much out of the story, like, the reason why Romeo and Juliet could just be some town in Florida and still make sense was the fact that Romeo and Juliet was just a town. Like, it was just taking place in some random town. You know,
Fair Verona.
right. And so, like, you can move that town to anywhere you want if you want to make, like, a Russian version of Romeo and Juliet during the Soviet era. Or some
Everyone
dumb
starves
shit like...
Death Scene 1. The NKVD shoots their corpses to make sure.
Double taps.
But you understand my point is where, because it's just a town, it can be moved anywhere a lot more freely.
It's
But if it's like...
self-contained.
Yeah, but if like the whole plot of how all of these families work in Game of Thrones requires them to be spanned across a continent, you kind of have to keep the continent, because otherwise it's like, okay, so the Lannisters are in South Sudan, but somehow they're feuding with some American company, and land and sea and
Welcome
political
to the world of
borders
business,
would...
my dude.
Yeah,
Like,
but like political borders would actually stop that. Like, no company in America is feuding with some company in South Sudan unless they have like shit in South Sudan.
Like,
Yeah.
for in all seriousness, you know that Firestone literally has death squads in Liberia, right?
Oh yeah, like I said
yeah.
though, that's not
Well,
that's
had.
not Liberian companies feuding with Firestone in America. That's Firestone in Liberia feuding with Firestone companies in Liberia feuding with Firestone Liberia. Like,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
For me personally, what I would do is I would probably focus less on like the actual amount of territory controlled and more on this being interplay between large corporate groups, probably fighting for dominant position in a merger. So for me, it would be less where are their holdings located and more focused on percentages, stuff going on in Congress, because
yeah,
obviously
but that
would require
loses
hearing.
part of the Game of Thrones. Like, part of the Game of Thrones is where everyone was situated. And like this family was important because they controlled this specific area and they were this far away from things.
I think that's because power is derived from land ownership in the Middle Ages. Your tax income,
power
the levies
is still
you can
derived
raise.
from land ownership in the modern age. Just look at Kazakhstan.
Oh, sure, 100%. But in that case, it is directly tied. In the modern day, you've got some dude in fucking Holland that can own shares in every major corporation in existence and be a multi-billionaire.
Right,
and
sure,
never have
but,
to leave Holland.
Sure, but the thing is he won't be doing like assassination squads to behind the scenes secure shares and other shit. Like, a good example of this is Boardwalk Empire, which actually did a pretty good depiction of how the boardwalks in New Jersey operated back in the day.
All right. In that case, I will. Is that on Netflix or something, or Amazon
I think
Prime?
that's Netflix. Yeah, I think that's Netflix. Yeah.
Well, Sneaky. in that
Yeah.
case, I will pick your brain on this a bit later if you're cool with that. But I gotta
Yeah,
go
sure.
eat dinner, you guys.
All right, yeah, you have fun with that, man.
All right, I'll catch you guys later. As always, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bye.
Even if he added nothing, I just like
Yes.
torturing authors.
Understandable.
So anyway, yeah, the How to Train Your Dragon section is a very mixed bag. Pretty much no one writes any fan fiction for the books. Period.
Probably
What
for the
did
best.
I'm sorry. What books? What did I come back to?
How to
We're
Train Your
still
Dragon
on
books.
Conjuring.
Oh yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah. So, yeah, to give you guys an idea. Holy shit. So, yeah, there's 1,100 stories for the movie. There's 93 stories for the books.
Yeah.
And there's 13,000 stories in total that haven't, declared.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear what they are, though.
Yeah, but if you're writing for the books, you're probably going to mark it as the book. But yeah, it's a very not great section like this. This is another very uninteresting story. Watching Hiccup's life unfold. During different points in time, multiple Vikings and dragons are blinded by a white light and get dropped into a movie theater where they watch How to Train Your Dragon.
That's boring as hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
incredibly boring.
Like, there hasn't been a single entertaining watching X or reading X story. Ever.
No, I think Urt the King was pretty hilarious. He
I
did.
do not care.
So Urt the King was a guy who did a 1.3 million word Mass Effect Halo crossover story, Fusion World. And as you can see by its massive girth, he put the effort in required to make it a fusion. And explain why it's a fusion. And it was pretty good, to be honest. He also did a Fallout crossover with Mass Effect. That was also a fusion, and that was also quite good. The humans purged a lot of things.
As they should.
Because they came out of the
me.
Fallout verse.
Yeah, your whole.
But in the
Yes,
During
hello.
the-
I'm here to purge.
during the
Sneaky.
time of
Look at this
the
bird I just found.
cool, during the time
it's
of the
related to dragons.
popularity of
seriously looks like a dragon.
his Halo Mass Effect story, there was another story that was extremely cringe, which was effectively a self-insert OC replacing Shepard, who was basically a Gary Stu classic. Pretty much hit every single trope point possible. Just magically solved every situation and acted like an absolute chump. And so the Urt the King decided he was going to make fun of this author because this author was apparently like trying to start shit with him or something over like how he got more favorites and clicks than Urt did on his story. And how that made his story better.
Fanfiction's better than yours. I got more people to like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay, bub.
so Urt clapped back by doing this whole reading of his story with using his Mass Effect Halo crossover characters, reading that guy's story. And it was fairly humorous. Urt's got a pretty good comedy bone on him. So it was actually pretty funny. Ultimately, he stopped it 6 or 7 chapters in because he's like, my point's made, and I don't really feel like reading more of his story.
Oof.
That's a cool looking bird. Looks like a squirrel.
Yeah.
I'll be
Looks
honest.
like a dragon.
I'm quite sad about that he stopped writing something that good. I get it. His point was made. The man's correct, but
I mean, if you want to read the actual thing, it is a completed story. The Halo Mass Effect crossover. It is finished. He also finished the Fallout one.
I'd like both of those actually.
Then he started a Fallout Ruby crossover, and I don't think that one's finished.
Oh, it's probably not going to be finished.
Not everyone is as despondent as you about Ruby, Max.
Yeah, so we got From the Ashes. Okay, so From the Ashes wasn't completed, but he is still updating it. That's just about to break 1 million words. Yeah, Mass Effect New Origins V2. Another trope breaker in this one. Oh yeah, Earth the King was also the guy who wrote Avoiding Stupid Deaths.
Oh.
If you've never read that one. Have you read that one?
You know, Avoiding Stupid Deaths in the 41st Month. The thing that started as a shitpost and then wasn't.
Got really serious, yeah.
Because the man can't help himself.
But he actually, yeah, he like I said, he gets pretty far into his stories. Usually he keeps them at one shots, though the smaller ones are all just one shots. But yeah, these are his big four. So yeah, I guess I'll just link his profile in the fanfiction.
Well, no, I mean, now that you, I appreciate it because there may be people who haven't read him. Now, I would say now that I know that he wrote Avoiding Stupid Deaths in the 41st Millennium, it's like, oh, well, I can work with that.
Oh yeah, wow, look at that. Yeah, New Origins. I linked that earlier. Yeah. How little the fanfiction section gets used. But yeah, I see. Anyway, let's see. Sticks and stones, through the thick and thin, through sticks and stones. That is not the saying, author. Through thick and thin and through sticks and stones.
That's not. Yeah, no, that's not how this
That's
works.
an interesting
I've
smash-up of
never
that.
quite heard
saying.
that variation, author. I shall be frank.
Hiccup learns the importance of family and friends, and how one can't live without them. That's false. This is a series of one-shots, short stories, drabbles, arcs, and stuff that expands across the How to Train Your Dragon universe. I don't know what that means. Also, how does Hiccup learn this information if it's just like little tiny snippets of like, oh yeah, today I woke up, wife was there, she was hurt, and then a family friend came over and healed her, and now she's better. Chapter end, story over. I guess Hiccup learned the usefulness of having friends. Like, if they're not connected to each other, and if they are connected to each other, then they're not one-shots. Because, you know, a one-shot means it's not connected.
Imagine that.
Yeah, can you imagine that?
Oh.
Also, just randomly, How to Train Your Dragon, just a Dragon Age story just here.
Oh,
For some
boy.
reason. Just Dragon Age The Awakening. 6 months since the Blight has ended, it's up to the new Warden Commander to rebuild
Someone
within...
misclicked, I guess.
No, because it's How to Train Your Dragon because it says Midgard. It's Dragon Age, but taking place in How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah. This isn't the crossover section either, fuck.
No, it's not in the crossover section either.
Bruh.
Haven't had one of those in a while.
Yeah.
Your story is in the wrong section, bruv. Reported. Because clearly, you know.
Can't wait for the author's reply but it won't do as well in the crossover section.
I still remember that. Still remember that reply of just like, but if I put it in the crossover section, no one will read it. That's not my fucking problem, mate.
I'm just gonna say, you do have me as proof that that's false. With my Halo Infamous crossover.
Yes, that's also true.
That did do some numbers when I first published and updated it, which was shocking.
That's true.
I don't think anyone was going to look at it.
Let's try and get something interesting at least to read, but they're all cringe. The Tangling. Hiccup sucked in a breath to swell his chest, while Astrid deals a deal. His beloved sarcasm, his treasured defense mechanism, shot back to the surface. Although getting anywhere while I'm tied up in your hair might be a challenge.
Fact?
What?
Oh no.
In which Hiccup tries to avoid responsibilities but ends up in Astrid's tower. A tangled AU.
Why?
Why
Cease
is
thy
this not
provocations.
in the crossover section? Why do authors do this?
I guess the reasoning is technically it's not a crossover, but it is.
I'm gonna take a stab in the dark on this one and
Tangled
guess that it's
AU.
likely just a word-for-word rewrite. They just copy-pasted, or
Almost.
they just replaced every instance of Finn with
Oh,
Hiccup.
Control F.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, nailed it. Yeah, frying pan, bopped him in the face. Yeah. Yep, it was just pretty much a word-for-word retelling with just replacing
I'm
the
gonna be honest.
characters.
If they replace the horse with a dragon,
Yeah. That kind of would
Tangled
change things.
is
Yeah.
completely screwed over with the existence
Tangled
of
would hit
dragons.
different, yeah.
Yo,
Yeah,
I've locked her in
Batman
this
Bear the Heels
tower.
people would be a lot
Nah.
more important in a world with fucking dragons, yo. This person has been burned beyond all hope of mortal recovery. Magic hair!
Yeah. It's just a spark, another Hickstrid modern AU. Astrid is working 2 dead-end jobs.
Oh no, that's the fucking
Oh no.
first
Hiccup
one
is a
of the other
young
one.
firefighter who responds to her setting her house on fire.
Wait, hang on, author.
They fall in love.
Okay, first of all, author, you've written bad porn. Second of all,
I mean, yeah, that is literally what modern AUs are. It's like the
Basically.
literary equivalent of playing with dolls.
Yeah, more or less. Tales from the Salty Dragon Bar. It's not every day the walls between the universe break
no.
down and universes get sucked into other universes, much less people who knew each other from a Discord server. Fucking shoot me.
What?
Yeah.
Now the Discord server for How to Train Your Dragon has ended up in the How to Train Your Dragon universe, and some have ended up as dragons. This is just a clusterfuck.
I wish to remove this author from existence.
Excellent.
Listen, I don't normally like to agree with Arn, but face the wall.
Yeah.
And
You need something stronger than a
Oh
bullet.
my god,
to
it
get rid of
doesn't
this stain.
end. It just doesn't end. You can tell how dead this section is now. 8 follows, 5 favorites. How to Train Your Dragon, Henna edition. Henna is the twin
it's Sneaky.
sister.
The one below. The one below.
I know. She trained as a great warrior and could have been the best, but then things happened and she changed. She made a deal with her father to be a healer with the village elder. Now she and her brother have to retrain the rest of the island to kill dragons. Can an injured Night Fury heal or hurt their family further? It's literally just How to Train Your Dragon, except this time the self-insert OC is there to make commentary.
Yeah.
The Gift of Wings. A pair of Night Furies hatch under mysterious circumstances. What do you mean mysterious circumstances? They hatched. They came from eggs. Sex was had. I don't know what else needs to be said.
Yeah, but what stork delivered them, Sneaky?
The dragon stork.
Explain that, liberal.
The grandfather Night Fury.
Unknowingly embarking on a perilous and fateful path fraught with malicious and greedy humans. Changing the world was never to be easy, but that's what it means to become a hero the hard way. Featuring Dragon Hiccup and twin toothless.
Look at the word count.
I know. 824,000 words.
255 favorites, 271 follows.
Yeah, I
Yikes.
know. Let's what's the most favorite story in this section?
Oh my god.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, Hitchups. That's the good stuff. That's the good one. That's the one I was talking about. That's good.
That's the one we went to Rome.
Yeah, it's got 10,000 favorites.
Yeah.
So yeah. I just want everyone to like reconcile what the current state of this section is. 4 favorites. What it used to be like 10,000 favorites.
Yeah.
Hiccup. So this is what Hitchups is. Hiccup didn't see the point in stopping Astrid as she ran off towards his village, towards his father, with his most desperately protected secret. He was leaving anyway. A coming-of-age tale deviates from the movie. It's a bromantic comedy. It's pretty good. It's actually pretty good.
Neat.
Neat.
Yeah. Then Becoming Liv Brazier was pretty decent as well, I think, if I'm remembering correct. Or however the fuck you pronounce that Norwegian word.
Liftfrasier.
Gesundheit.
think. Yeah, the B thing is a TH sound.
People often
So it's
wondered what kept
Liftfrasier.
Hiccup going during those early years. When the single most treasured thing is taken from him, there was little left to keep him on Burke. The day Stoic returns, the day before his best recruit is finally chosen, Hiccup leaves Burke, little knowing that he would one day return under stranger circumstances. Again, it was a pretty good story, also completed. I Hear Him Scream was a decent story, but the sequel is dead.
Oh no.
Basically it's How to Train Your Dragon, but shit gets funky, more magic's involved, Hiccup turns into a dragon. Stuff like that.
Oh, this is something I've wondered for a while. Alvor, what do you charge to write stuff?
Alvor's been gone.
Alvor's gone.
Oh,
He's been gone for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
oh,
20.
Maybe. Yeah. 2015.
So we're clearly not finding anything funny to read here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let's see. We haven't done a Bleach story in a while. Those are usually really cringe and funny to read. So yeah, I just want everyone to realize how much effort I put into actually finding cringe stories for us to read. Like, this is how pathetic it is these days.
Yeah. I can find you some, but I guarantee you're probably not gonna want to read them.
Yeah, well, there's a limit. There's a careful knife's edge of cringe.
Oh
and,
yeah, I'm aware. I can toe the line if I want to.
This is just
Usually don't
cringe.
take
This is
all.
not like I'm not even interested. This is romance angst. Of course, it's romance angst.
I mean, what else would
Castle
it be?
toppler. We stared each other down, my eyes dark against his laughing brown. After all these lives and timelines, I finally had him before me. Eisen, a promise off of my lips as my comrades and loved ones fall around me. Tulip petals in the first crisp winter night. I stand against the flow of time, crumbling, chasing a man who lays the castle foundation out, brick by brick.
But was he the man behind the slaughter?
Probably not.
I didn't realize you listened to FNAF songs, Arn.
I don't. But it's become well, it's spread more than just FNAF songs.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's more like ironically used, like retard memes.
It's basically like people die when they're killed line. It's kind of become iconic in its own right.
Yeah.
Should I know what that is?
The meme is self-perpetuating now.
Man Behind the Slaughter?
Yes.
Not really. It's basically it's a
Yeah.
line from a Five Nights at Freddy's song. Because it's like I think it's like the third song or the second song. Because the same character is genociding kids effectively.
Yeah.
And so one of the lines in the song is the man behind the slaughter.
I see.
And so people kind of took that and just kind of started memeing on it.
Yeah.
Good man.
I am. What the fuck is this? Justifiably, only one favorite and one follow.
Thank
A
God.
new semester has ended. The school, comma, life and everything else is running smoothly. That is, until trust and tranquility within the community is shattered by a violent murder. So he was the man behind the slaughter.
Oh God. No.
For Renji, this is not the beginning. He used to know the knife-wielding girl. He even attended her funeral. His past is catching up with him, or maybe it's the other way around. What?
Modern AU, apparently.
Modern AU, college,
Oh, yeah.
university AU.
That's just
What?
fucking great.
For Bleach? Wait, how is this a modern? Wait,
Well.
wait, what girl is killing people?
Is Rukia going
I
on a
don't
knife
remember
spree?
this in Bleach.
Apparently.
Yeah, Rukia is the woman behind the slaughter.
I guess she's the woman behind the slaughter.
Hey, yo, that makes it a lot more interesting.
True.
No, why? This isn't even the crossover section. Why are people so fucking dumb?
Again?
The guy can't even say it's because he wanted to do a more popular section. Like, if you wanted to do a more popular section, you would have put it in the Naruto section. This dude doesn't even put it in the Naruto section. He doesn't even put it in the Naruto Bleach crossover section. He puts it in the Bleach section. Naruto as Sosuke Aizen. That's the
Yeah,
story
I mean-
title.
Well, just just from the name of the author alone, you can kind of get an idea of like the level of intelligence we're working with here.
Kushina simp. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
say what you mean. Yeah.
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 This story is about what if Naruto got Hagiku and Kyoka Suigetsu. Also, Naruto is Aizen. Alive! Everyone. Naruto doesn't have the Nine Tails, but Natsu Uzumaki has the yin half.
What?
And Maya Uzumaki has the yang half. Oh my god. It's one of those cringe betrayal stories, neglected Naruto stories, where Naruto's family is all alive, and he's the third child, and he has the body of the Nine Tails sealed in him, and his older siblings or younger siblings have the yin and yang halves sealed in them, so his whole family neglects him because he only has the body sealed in him.
You only
Right.
have a third of a nuke in you, kid. Get over yourself.
I mean, but that doesn't even make any sense. Like, nowadays, it really doesn't make sense. Like, even back then, I guess it could sort of make sense because we didn't really know the chakra beasts were just made of chakra yet.
Yeah.
But like, I've seen.
No, we did. That was it. That wasn't like the opening roll.
Was that really in the opening roll that the chakra beasts were made of chakra?
Pretty sure. No, hang on. The opening
I'm pretty
roll
sure-
was demons. Then we find out about the.
Yeah, it wasn't until quite a while later
Oh,
that we found
you know
out
what?
the chakra
Yeah, I
beasts were
don't.
just made of chakra.
You know what? It might not have been until like middle of the tuning exams when we finally met another
Yeah.
container.
Yeah. I've joined at a bad time.
It's always a bad time to join.
Say it's always a bad time, buddy.
to join.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the point being is that like back in the early days of Naruto, it was sort of understandable. It was still a cringe trope because it's just like, okay, so he has the yang half, which makes him energetic and aggressive and tough, I guess, and she has the yin half, which makes her smart and thoughtful and, big brain. And you have the body, but we're going to neglect you because you just have the body of the mountain-sized demon. You just have the
What
body.
kind of threat could you be to our enemies with just the body of a mountain-sized demon?
Right. And it's like, okay, so they can use the chakras, and you're saying that Naruto couldn't manifest the body in any form or fashion? But they can manifest the chakras? And it's like, you're telling me that you guys are just like, now that we've de-chakra'd this giant creature, we're just gonna not learn how to puppet it. Despite all logic and all things shown in the show so far, we're just gonna casually seal this giant body into a child and then just be like, lol, fuck off, child. We don't need you anymore. You are irrelevant. So the trope was already cringe as is, but it got even more cringe in the more current year status when everyone knows they're made of chakra, but authors still go with and they sealed the body into Naruto, and it's just like, there would be no body, because if they sealed each half of the chakra into someone, then there's no body, because they're made of chakra. But anyway, so this author's like 14 layers of stupid.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
Because like, alright, so we have 3 children, and we've sealed a monster into 2 of them. Let's neglect the 3rd one. I'm sure nothing will happen.
Yes. Consequences? Nah.
Consequences are for other people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Consequences
This
are
is
for
still
civilians.
such a weird trope for the fandom to go for.
The alive family trope?
No, like a live family, but ignores Naruto. It's like they were
live,
so
neglectful
excited to
family.
have a kid.
Yeah.
Like,
The
listen,
only thing
no
those
one,
parents would
no
do upon
one.
finding out they have more than one child is somehow get even more excited.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Naruto was just born with a twin sister. It's like, oh fuck yeah, ultra hype now. Let's go. Like, if you gotta pick a trope, at least have it make sense. But no, can't have that. Gotta have drama.
God damn it! Shut the fuck up, brain.
I want your
But
brain
sneaky
concoct
brain
this
too.
time.
You said they would be super hype, and my brain immediately was just like, hey, remember Thug Naruto and them all dancing while doing the hand signs?
Based.
Thug Naruto was great.
Wait.
Do you guys not remember Thug Naruto?
No.
No, help me
Oh my
remind
god.
me. I remember B going around in Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 beating people up, and they joined his posse of background dancers.
Oh, come on. Where is Thug Naruto? Oh, come on. Oh, shit.
Are you sure you're not thinking of B?
No. It's a real life shit post that this group of black friends made, where they were all various.
It's Hood Naruto.
Hood Naruto. There we go. Yeah. Hood
well,
Naruto.
From something Vader, right?
Yeah.
Vader, yeah. There you go. There's the full movie.
Well, the movie is separate from all the parts.
Yeah.
The fact he made it, though.
They can click on the channel.
Like, the boy
and
did
the other
it.
Ones. Yeah, they sure did.
Oh, okay. Okay. This, like...
Yes, I'm remembering it now.
Like, that's what my brain immediately popped in with Minato and Kushina.
Find out they're having another kid. Oh. Oh, it is dumb, but it's fantastic because they know it's dumb and they're leaning into it.
Oh yeah, that's the point.
This
they're
is
all
dumb.
leaning-
Leans.
I like how everyone is smiling if they don't have a mask on because they're all just having fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's half of what makes it amazing. Is these are clearly people just having a grand old time.
And then Hood Goku shows up.
I love the Trunks cosplayer in the background of Goku.
Just
Guys,
the
what can we
fact
do to
that he
shit
made
post?
all of them. That was just great. That was that is old YouTube. That's the old YouTube era.
I mean, 2018 was only, well,
Yeah,
almost
no,
4
but
years ago.
like the original one was like 2014 or something. It was like that's old YouTube.
Yeah. I don't know.
Back in the day, 8 years
I'll get you
ago.
Man,
8 years ago.
I still remember when people were like, "Oh, the original creator of YouTube made a comment for the first time in years, and he's complaining about Google Plus, and rightfully so."
Yep. Remember when they tried forcing Google Plus down everyone's throat?
Oh yeah,
And
of
it failed
course.
because no one cared.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's 3 of them.
Oh God, Hood Naruto. No, I would say 2010 to 2012. Like 2006 to 2010 was not great. Like 2006 2009, not great. Not gonna stand on a hill. I'm not gonna die on that hill.
Yeah.
Oh hey, look, it's our favorite author, Sakura Demon Alchemist.
I thought that was
I mean, there's someone we
Fairy
love
Tail Kid
even
Toucher.
more.
No,
Yeah.
no. Fairy Tale Kid Toucher is
Fairy Tail.
apparently.
Kitty
By the
Diddler.
way, so we did get a response from him.
Yeah, we did.
He blocked C8.
I mean, yeah, but he replied first.
Well,
Yeah, he replied with something that didn't deny anything. Oh yeah, yes, that's right. He didn't even deny any of it. He just said, "I'm gonna sue you for slander," and I just told
Yeah.
Pedro to send back, "Hey, first off, slander is not the word that describes anything written here."
Yeah.
Second off, I'm in Brazil. Come at me.
Yeah. Where the fuck is it? I'm gonna see if I can find it. Take a screenshot.
While you lived your life, I studied the lolly.
While you were writing good fan fiction, I studied children. Yeah.
Look, I was merely oh, that's right. The rest of his comment was, I was just studying it so I could learn how not to draw lollies.
well, hang on.
It's always been like the most. I was studying how not to do. Like, okay, listen.
How does that make any sense?
It doesn't.
Look, I was going over it in extreme detail so I knew never to do any of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Sakura
Hello.
Demon Alchemist comes out with a Bleach Drabbles story. Apparently, she just got tired of making new chapters every single time she wanted to upload a story. Sorry, new stories every time she wanted to upload a chapter. So she just finally gave up and just made a Drabbles section.
Yeah.
Progress, I guess.
I mean, I suppose she only's got like 500 stories now or something, right? 287.
Too many.
Too many. 287 too many. God, there's so many.
Let's see. There you go. That's the
Oh, God. Well, hey, at least she stopped doing Harry Potter and Naruto crossovers.
cycle.
But yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
here's something that's a little bit interesting, but probably is going to go nowhere because of the both update rate and the word count. Piece of time. Ichigo and Rukia go back in time to stop Aizen from destroying the world. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an escalation to begin with.
I mean,
Also
not
pretty
really.
straightforward.
Straightforward, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cringe. It's OC times Byakuya. Cringe. Oh God. This is cringe too. It's a modern AU where Rukia is a college student who secretly is a Twitch streamer at nighttime.
But why?
And secretly, Ichigo is her biggest simp online, and also her project partner in class, and he seemed to never put the two together.
Yep, checks out.
That does
Ne-
check.
Never squared that circle, huh, boy?
Never squared that circle, no. Which is funny. So Ina had a little Q&A, sit down and chat talk yesterday for some
Yeah.
goals and whatnot, and she wanted to go to a Comic Con or Anime Con,
Yeah.
to buy Ina merchandise from fans.
Okay.
And her manager was like, Ina, you can't do that.
Why not?
Because her voice is kind of distinctive,
Yeah.
Oh.
and she'll be going specifically to sections of the convention that cater to people who are her fans. That'll be like Nicolas Cage walking into a movie convention and putting on sunglasses and being like, yes, with these sunglasses I'll be able to buy Nicolas Cage merchandise. And no one will
Okay.
recognize me, Nicolas
Oh.
Cage.
But
Kinda
that implies
Okay.
people want to
Manager
recognize
San
Nicolas Cage.
Might have a point there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't have to talk. Like, you can literally
Yeah.
not speak.
This is true, and that's what she proposed, and the manager was like, no, you'll be
How
found
Now,
out.
to be fair to the manager, that would, and I say this in the nicest possible fashion, require Ina keeping her trap shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That lack
But,
of vocal interaction makes certain interactions such as, I don't know, buying things a little
Buying
bit
things a
harder.
little bit harder, yeah.
Yeah. But
Especially
Ina also
because
had
a lot
she
of
had
con
another
booths.
option as well,
Well, yes.
which was to cosplay as Noelle. And for the unaware, Ina is a rather flat-chested woman, while
Yes.
Noelle is a night cup, K-cup, big titty. So yeah,
Yeah, she was like, if I
the
cosplay as
best of
Noelle,
ideas.
there was no
I
way
mean,
anyone
okay,
would
hang
just
on a second.
see through it.
Like, okay, listen, you can punch up with that metaphorical weight. Like, it's
I mean,
really
yeah,
it's
sure.
really hard to hide the K. It's not that hard to fake that.
I mean,
well, it's not as
Debatable.
hard, I guess.
and someone was like, Ina, you should just disguise yourself as Ina, as a really good Ina cosplayer.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, thinking to myself, that might actually work.
Hang about, that one might work.
The other option is to take the opposite route and just go for a budget. Go the old box Gundam route. Just write what you're cosplaying on a cardboard box, and
the boxing
that's it.
around.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
no,
mean,
here's the real 6D chess. Cosplay as Gura because she's already flat.
Actually, that also might work. Yeah. Oh, an American Bleach story. One night, that's all it took for Adam Martinez to have his world changed immensely. With no other home to go to, he now lives with his aunt and uncle, who are unaware of something hanging over the teenager. What will come of this? How will it change his life? Who can say? Cringe. The only thing that's for certain is that Karakura Town now has an American Reaper living there. Cringe! Boo!
Damn.
American Reaper doesn't come equipped with a gun as his sole weapon. I'm gonna be disappointed.
That would be so good. This is my son Pakto! Pulls out revolver. Wait, hold on, that's a gun. Wait, that's illegal.
Well, there was
Says you.
the one stealth ninja with the fucking missile launcher.
Well, I know. It's exactly
Yeah.
my point. It's just like, it just
Exactly.
pulls out revolver.
It exists. We have
It
a man that dual wields gun. Well, we have a hollow that dual wields guns, but still.
Do you think Samuel Colt in the afterlife has a gun that can kill things?
Probably.
Yes.
He better.
With the rise of
He's the
VTubers.
secret captain in the Saratai.
With the rise of VTubers nowadays, someone not knowing someone is a streamer makes sense.
I mean, kinda.
It depends. On this one, it just said she's just a video game streamer, so it didn't say that she was streaming under an avatar. And typically,
Yeah.
video game streamers do stream their face.
Yeah, nowadays, which is just kind
Yeah.
of odd.
Well, I mean, even then, video game streamers don't typically try to obfuscate their voice, unlike VTubers. And if
Yeah.
Well,
some of them
I
do
know.
at
I would
least.
say, hold on. Let's be clear. There's two routes of VTubing: complete obfuscation of the voice. I don't give a fuck, and I'm just gonna do my voice.
Right. So, the Ame route and the Kali route.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Ame not so much. I think
No,
probably-
that
probably the
voice of
biggest,
hers
like,
is completely fake. Like,
Well,
that
I mean, yeah.
she
but,
specifically invented it to talk to her dog.
Yeah. But Sneaky, there's one layer of obfuscation you haven't included, which is the Centrea path.
Oh
of
yes, of course,
going
text to
60.
speech, but that's cringe.
Yeah. But it was literally just that long. Yeah. Cringe.
Everyone knows it's a guy. Which just
Yeah.
I'm
kind of
sorry.
makes
Everybody
it.
knows what's again. I
Zentreya.
completely tuned.
Zentreya is a old VTuber who used to do drumming and
Oh.
some video game streaming, and they had really old text-to-speech software, and they've upgraded to voice-to-speech software.
Yeah. Voice to text to voice.
Yeah.
That sounds so unnecessary.
And they did it because they're a guy who's pretending to be a girl, but they have and they do that because they have all this body tracking software as well. They're like one of the first ones I ever saw with body tracking as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But everyone acts like, because they join an organization, and because their character is supposed to be a woman and the person playing them is supposed to be a woman, they all refer to her as a woman, even though everyone knows it's a guy.
I see.
And it's sort of like the situation I had back in the day when I knew someone who played Counter-Strike, and I knew them in real life, and they were very clearly a guy. They were full-on fat neckbeard, furry, My Little Pony fan, etc. And however, they only played Counter-Strike acting like they were a girl. And that's all anyone knew them on Counter-Strike as on the servers they went to.
Like, did they do a voice, or was it just
they just used text? They just used text.
okay?
And they all just kind of thought that person was a girl. And I one day joined a server with them, not knowing this information. And everyone's like, "Oh, she's back." I'm like, "She?" And it just made
Y'all,
every interaction I had, like
Curb
with
Your
anyone on that
Enthusiasm
server.
plays.
Yeah, basically, it just made every interaction I had on that server just immensely more awkward as they were all hitting on her.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, I don't want to say anything, but at the same time, I really don't want to be here.
why would you not want to
You
say
should have.
anything?
Yeah, you should have said it, honestly.
Um,
Revel in chaos.
like, I'm not a dick to people IRL. Like, I'm a dick to people, but I'm not like that much of a dick to people.
Okay, but like that's like, hey guy, you know this is a fat neckbeard, right?
Okay, yeah, but they were also all furries. Most of them were also
Well,
gay.
I mean,
Not-
yeah,
not-
they shouldn't have forgotten the oldest rule on the internet.
It is
The women are
until
men,
you meet them in
the
real
men are
life,
men,
it's
and the
always a
children
fat
are FBI
man.
agents.
Everyone knows that the men are men, women are men, and the children are FBI agents. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But
just
yeah,
how it
like
works.
this had potential here. Like I was actually interested for a second with Bleach American Reaper. I was like, oh, are we gonna have like some Bleach story taking place in America where it's like so far out of the jurisdiction of Soul Society that like hollows are just like running amok or some shit. We got some like supernatural shit going on here. One kid and his soul revolver has to take them on. Like I would be like, oh, that actually sounds cool.
We're
Yeah.
in the so Wild West.
The soul.
I'd be like, listen, that
Yeah.
sounds dope as hell,
Like that
man.
actually that sounds pretty fucking cool. But it's like, nah.
Yeah.
He moved to Karakura. He moved to Japan because his parents died in America, so he moved to Japan with his aunt and uncle.
Yeah, that's clearly.
It's like,
That's
okay,
great.
Clearly, what would happen.
yeah. Because Japan just lets that happen. They don't. Spoiler alert. You have to have a lot of money for Japan to just let you move there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of just want you working. Of bonds and hollows, the greed of one hollow can change the entire course of the Bleach universe. But things don't change too much. Right?
Well, yeah. Okay.
What? I mean, growing up with an overprotective wolf and a little active pup can't be that bad for Ichigo. Arankar Ichigo. Ichigo times Lillinette. Ichigo, older brother Ukiura, and older brother Stark.
What?
That's really cringe.
Interesting.
It's basically the premise is that Stark and Ukiura found Ichigo. Oh shit, I totally forgot about Stark. Yeah, he just straight up has guns.
Yes, that was the that was the Apollo I was referring to.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the cuz whoever injected with the missile Bankai.
That was me.
Yeah,
That was
right.
Gray mentioning that.
Just completely derailed my thought process from remembering Stark. Yeah, Stark just straight up has fucking guns. Stark was also great. I love Stark.
Stark was cool.
Stark was cool, except for the fact that one of his guns was like part of him, but a lolly, but also.
That's Lillinette. Apparently,
Yeah, that's
the person in who Ichigo is love interest with in this fic.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird.
Who is also just split part of Stark.
Yes, that
It's
sounds amazing.
Yeah. A little bit weird.
Little bit. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, souls are pretty malleable in the Bleachverse, so just like saying, oh yeah, he cut part of his soul off to reduce his power level, so he would stop killing everything around him by merely existing, and that cut part of soul manifested its own consciousness and its own personality. Okay, yeah,
Somehow.
I'll believe that. I mean, not somehow. That's literally how souls work in Bleachverse. Period. Just like that's how hollows work. It's like, oh, somehow the hollow manifested a personality. It's like, yeah, that's just how it works. No, like if
It's
you're
also
gonna do
pretty
that with
malleable,
like,
but so are baby skulls.
listen, I mean, you gotta keep in mind that hollow souls are made up of literally tens to thousands of human souls. So the
Unless you're a
idea,
badass.
Oh no, the ones that
Mm,
are badass get the tens of thousands of human
yeah,
souls.
all the
That was the
super
problem.
badasses are the ones with millions of
You're
souls
right.
in them. So it's like cutting off a chunk of your thousands of souls, and that thousands of soul chunk just manifesting a personality isn't that surprising or shocking. So, you know, I was just, throwing that out there.
Hmm.
And now, don't get me wrong, it is still a little bit weird having Ichigo fall in love with his little sister. I'm hearing some Sweet Home Alabama strumming in the distance.
Yeah.
Only a little.
I mean, it's his adopted sister who is technically actually fractions of thousands of people that they ate.
Hey, whatever you feel like saying, Fire Emblem Fates.
That was uncalled for. I feel attacked.
Yo, that's exactly what it does, though. Literally, Sneaky, do you want to know how creeptastic Fire Emblem Fates got?
Go ahead.
Alright, so you know how there's a route where, hey, you got right? There's your adopted family, and you're not, and your bloodline, and your blood family, right? And you can either side with Nor, your adopted family, or you can side with your quote-unquote, your real family, Hoshido.
Right.
Or
Only,
neither.
I'm getting there.
Yes.
Only if you choose to bonk, to side with your real family, the option to bonk your blood sisters is there, and you're like, hey, this doesn't seem quite right, boys. And they're
Oh,
like,
okay, you
oh,
can do it with the
don't.
brothers too. There is the
Yes, I
Kin
should be
unit.
clear. Assuming you can bang whatever the opposite gender is. And when you do that, they go, hey, mom gave me a letter if I ever fell in love. And that seemed really weird to me at the time. But once I read it, it made sense. We're not related at all.
Leech section, why do you have to be like this?
Which, and let's be clear, it's incredibly creepy on many levels. Because there's one where it's like, go for the people that have been your functional family for many years, which makes the whole big sister loves you thing very creepy.
Oh, Bleach
Or,
section, why do you have to be like this? So,
I mean, you're asking, you know why.
the two stories immediately below that one. Deadly Beauty. While on a mission to Hueco Mundo, which again, this is like, well, I'm like, why is Mexico not involved in this? Like, this is a perfect opportunity here. Byakuya is attacked and possessed by a dangerous hollow. Also, I just want to mention that a Christian Mexican living in Japan ended up going to Soul Society, so I'm just saying. It's not based on religion. It might be a little bit based on geography, but that doesn't really make much sense.
I was gonna say, I gotta be real, the fact that he remained as firm in his belief as he did, quite impressive.
Yes, that was very impressive. To be fair though, if I was a Christian, a very fervent believer of heaven and all that jazz, and I died, and I ended up in basically what is the downtown Detroit, I would probably still believe in heaven. Because I'd be like, this is clearly not heaven. It's also not hell, but it's clearly not heaven, so this is just purgatory. I'm obviously in purgatory. Downtown Detroit is purgatory.
So I'll just chill here for eternity. Oh well.
Well, but that's not even the worst part, because you end up in downtown Detroit, or like feudal Japan.
I mean, fair. Honestly, I would take feudal Japan over downtown Detroit.
Same.
Who wouldn't?
Easily.
Anyway, so Kisuke's attempts to heal him yields unexpected results as they both fall in love and have a child together as Byakuya gets pregnant.
Ah, it's one of
Ah.
those.
I need you to stop saying words.
Denied. Then we have the follow-up, which I don't know if it's worse or not. Playtime with Khan. One shot. Ichigo leaves her soul society and refuses to let Khan have his body. So what's a poor mod soul to do when he finds the leftover body that belongs to a certain flash goddess?
By the way, I want to point out, Mod Souls was the most like depressing,
And
terrifying
that was
thing
incredibly depressing, yes.
that they did nothing with.
They kind of really just shoved that one underneath the bed and just hoped no one would pay
Well,
attention to it.
I think because they realized just how awful it was. Like,
I mean, to be fair, the anime actually did a filler arc on that, and they made it more depressing.
yes, but at least we got some level of closure on that.
Fair. So he finds. So anyway, Khan, finds the body of Yorichi and proceeds to possess it and then molest it.
Hardone?
Yeah.
Oh, so
So-
he just starts.
The premise is that the Gigai, the human body that Kisuke can create for Soul Reapers to be visible to humans. The premise is that Yorichi's Gigai was just laying around and Khan found it and ejected his soul cube into her body and then basically masturbated.
Yeah.
With her body.
Hmm.
Of
Like I
course.
said, I don't know which one is actually worse. Because I don't know what to classify what this story is. Like, on one hand, it's a little bit rapey, but on the other hand, it's like, I mean, it's their own body. But then on the other
Like,
hand,
is it?
there's male pregnancy as its counterpoint, so I'm just like, I don't know which one of you is worse. Please,
I
just
mean,
line
as far as
up
the first one goes, it's not really the person's. It's an empty meat suit that anyone can get into.
I'm not really okay with that.
It's
like-
bad. We'll leave it at that, please.
I don't know. It's just I don't. Not.
Yeah,
I
like the
just-
whole thing's just awful. The end.
Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like it. Come on, we gotta find a story to read. Why do they all suck? Oh, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. The new Soul King, Aizen won and will now delete the universe to create the Omni race, the superior Ubermensch.
Oh no.
This gives Aizen time to
Oh.
indulge in all of his sexual fantasies that pent up over the years.
I hate my eyes. I hate my eyes.
This story contains massive amounts of adult themes, dark themes, goddess transformations, and
Huh?
alpha omega breeding.
Hmm.
What a terrifying day to have ears.
Omniverse Harem AU, where everyone's big boobied and in love with Aizen.
Of course.
You know what? I'll take the other two stories over that one.
Yeah.
I'll take either of them over that. Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Understandable.
By Sigma.
Self-insert. Oh, not a self. No, it is a self-insert. It's a literal self-insert.
Ah, no.
Blood
Yeah, I mean,
source. Having your
when they use
memories
I-
forcefully inserted back into your head is a stressful situation, nor was it fun being unknowingly reborn into a fictional world where I see dead people. Self-insert OC times Ichigo. It's female, so don't worry about that angle, but still.
Okay, hang about. We needed to ask
Ooh.
that question after the last two things you just read us.
I'm aware.
Very true. And it's an answer I didn't want.
It's just like this is the shit that's like polluting this, like polluting. I'll use polluting because fuck these people. Learn to love again. A modern AU where Kisuke is a physics professor and Yorichi is a rich heiress with a tragic past, that they end up in a fake relationship that turns into a real relationship. Like why? What's the point? Oh, I just want to see Kisuke and Yorichi make out. Well, they can do that plenty without it being a modern AU. I don't know why you have to have a fantasy of a student dating a teacher.
I
Like,
would
is
say
there something
they
you want
are
to tell
quite
us?
prepared to do that.
Yeah, like they hopped aboard that teacher times student train, even though it makes no fucking sense because Yorichi's almost as old or older than Kisuke.
Honestly, I think that after however many years of them not being reborn in real bodies, they were just horny and bored.
I mean, Yorichi's just horny. Everyone knows that.
But I think Kisuke was just bored.
Yes. I
Isn't he
definitely
always bored?
Kisuke is the sort of person who, if you told me they made a clone of themselves but female to find out and debate with said clone if having sex with your clone that's been gender swapped is masturbation or incest, I would believe you. I would believe that sounds exactly like something Kisuke would do. Am I wrong?
No.
Yeah.
He'd be like, everybody asks the question, but I can answer it.
So I'm gonna clone myself, then debate myself, then fuck myself, then find out.
Hmm.
How much shame am I filled with after the fact?
None.
Is that how much he'll gauge whether it's masturbation or incest?
Yes.
Understandable.
How much do I
What?
feel like I just broke the unwritten rules?
I don't
And you just did.
understand this at all. What the fuck? Positive reinforcement. Modern AU. Rukia finds a cat on her way home. While attempting to find a vet, she ends up outside the Positive Vet Pet Clinic in the middle of the night, where there just happens to be a midnight shift orange-haired vet on duty.
Oh.
Ichigo
What am I
times
supposed to say to
Rukia.
this?
Like, why? Like, this is so contrived for the sole purpose of getting Rukia to romance Ichigo. And it's like, you could do that without making it a modern AU based around an injured cat. I don't... Like, why is... why the injured cat? Positive reinforcement sounds like a crack fic. It would be a crack fic if it didn't involve kit. I can't say kittens. It just... Oh, that word has been tarnished. That word has been tarnished.
Has it
Yeah.
really, though?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Not if you're not a degenerate freak.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Have
I
you
don't think you
not
should
have
be
you not
accusing
seen the
Sneaky of that.
have you not seen the Discord memes? The Discord mod
No!
memes?
I've avoided all of those.
That's fair, but I've seen them
Mm.
unfortunately, and you can't take that stuff back.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I will keep it that way.
So the opening lines of apostasy, a bunch of cringe ass shit. So back to the summary of the story though. A demon haunts the Cathedral of Archangels. The Cathedral of Archangels. What? Is that a thing? I don't think that's a thing. I don't think
Not
we
in
built
like real mythology. Not in like
real mythology, real Christian
Real
mythology.
yeah, real Christian mythology.
Father Ichigo Kurosaki is confident it's the opportunity of a lifetime, but he is nowhere near ready for what Grimjaw has in store for him. A Grimjaw times Ichigo Christian AU.
Wait,
What?
How? Fuck.
one of the
Was
things
not
you've
expecting
mentioned
to
in
hear
there
that.
mutually exclusive.
Also, apparently Grimjaw is a demon, and he's got lots of sin inside him that he's about to store inside Ichigo.
Yeah, it was Saint Augustine, I think, who said sinister in the balls.
Yeah, well, he's about to
Yeah,
store some sin inside Ichigo.
True. And I wish it wasn't. Fuck you.
I really no, I'll have to decline. In light of the stories we've read today, I'll have to decline your offer.
Yeah.
Your generous offer.
Yeah, there's definitely no Catholic church or basilica named the Cathedral of Archangels. God, I hate this fucking section. God, I hate the state of fanfiction these days.
Yeah.
Like, there
Well.
was a golden era. There was a golden era where shit was good. And now it's like you go into the news section and it's like the stuff that was from the golden era that just updated, and all of this cringe. Cringe.
Yeah.
So much cringe.
So much pain and suffering.
Like Bleach Shining Star Remix. In the canon world, Ichigo's powers remain separated, but in this AU, they all combined together and Ichigo's soul became super, and he has new unique powers that no one ever has. Read and see the type of Shinigami he becomes. So, like, it even had, like, there was even the era where people wrote summaries like this, too, where it's like, read the story to find out how strong he is. It's like, I don't know, you're probably going to make him really fucking strong because of the rest of the shit I just read in this summary. So I don't know why I gotta
wonder
read the damn
why.
story to find that out. Also, possibly hands down, one of the worst things to put in your summary is read the story.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
really is.
I mean, obviously.
It's like, yeah, that's the whole fucking purpose of the summary, and yet here you are wasting words to tell me to read the story. No, you have to tell me to read the story without telling me. You gotta draw me in, author. No, only thing you're doing is punching me in the dick.
Yeah, I mean, like, summary's supposed to interest you, draw your attention, hook you. And that's the opposite of doing that.
Okay, see, this is clearly a shit post and might actually be funny. So we're gonna end the night on this.
Uh-oh.
Ammonia. Okay, yeah. Sure.
So the story is called Ammonia. And the summary is, what if Bleach, but everyone was a different flavor of bro?
Uh-huh.
which
That
unfortunately
is
I think this is
word.
going to be garbage, but let's go. It was a clear, chill night when Ichibro defeated the 3 frat boys in a drinking contest. They had been stumbling down the street, and one of them decided to relieve himself on a spot on a wall, and due to some bad luck, Ichibro happened to be walking by at a time. Dude, party foul, Ichibro declared at the urinating man. Can't you see that's a memorial you're peeing on? What was that, you punk? I'll pee wherever I wish, the rather inebriated student declared. His friends started to gather around him, equally angry and belligerent as only college freshmen who drank 3 beers and is sloshed can be. Who the fuck drinks 3 beers and gets sloshed off of that?
Listen,
Like,
I am an
At
ultra
least-
lightweight, and I'm not that
You're,
bad.
I guess.
No, Bay. Bay, apparently.
Yeah, especially Bay. I mean, look, Bay drank like fucking, what, a third of a beer, half a beer?
Yeah.
And
Okay,
got
but
completely
as far as
sloshed.
we can tell, Bay might actually be like 3 feet
Rats.
tall.
Yeah, Bay,
Yeah,
Bay might
easily.
actually be a literal rat.
Yeah. Would not surprise
Bay
me.
may in fact be a rat that somehow speaks 3 languages.
I did
Yeah.
like that one drinking review Bay and Callie did together, where Bay's like, I have a beer, and Callie's like, and I have a bottle of whiskey. I'll be taking a shot for every sip Bay takes of the beer. And
Yeah.
Bay was more drunk by the end than Callie.
I'm gonna guess that was the safest drinking game Callie's ever partaken in before.
Probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
The easiest win ever.
Like, Callie by the end was like, Bay, are you okay? Bay's like, just got one
The worst
more.
part is, I was like, I can't tell if Bay is I can't tell if she's William T. Shatnering this.
No, that was some genuine drunk. Cause it slid slowly. It slid slowly enough. Like, it wasn't just her just acting more drunk over time. Like, you can't act that much more drunk that slowly.
Yeah.
Like, it was very slowly you could just tell she was getting drunker. So maybe she was exaggerating a little bit, but she was definitely getting drunk off of just a single beer.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's kind of, I mean, I wouldn't say impressive, but it's practical.
Yeah,
I mean,
It's
save a
Bay
hell of a lot on alcohol.
Yeah, as Bay put it, you save a lot on alcohol. And Callie was like, yes, I can get that. Usually I have to drink $80 of alcohol to get to that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it depends on what your goal is when consuming alcohol.
I
To
mean,
get
Callie
drunk.
also doesn't just drink the cheapest things anymore.
Well, that's
except,
true. Yeah.
convenience store wine, I guess, but like,
Well, no, she ended that.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
So yeah, she drinks like $150 whiskey.
Callie
$200.
did in fact reveal during a talk stream that she does in fact hate the taste of alcohol, and she only drinks it to get drunk because in her opinion that's the whole
Yeah.
point of alcohol. And I'm like, yes, a fellow sufferer.
I mean, I
a fellow
agree.
spite.
Same.
The only purpose of me drinking right now is to get drunk. Fuck the taste. I can't taste it anyway. Which, I mean, I feel bad for my dad a little bit because he's one of those whiskey aficionados. He's like, yes, you can taste the deep smoky, flavor with the hint of nutmeg and the walnut, and I'm like,
You can.
no, mine just tastes like burn and pain.
Yeah, over Christmas, I tried cognac.
Oh,
Which
did
is-
you?
Yeah, it didn't taste good at all. Tastes like fucking, yeah, cough medicine, kinda. But it was like 40 something percent alcohol, I think it is. So yeah, pretty good. Wasn't it sucked?
Yeah, so basically this story is it's a flavor of humor. Not my flavor of humor,
Me
but
neither.
it's a flavor. So with a deft toss, 12 packs of Game Day Ichibro had been holding, flew through the air and set themselves up, and then out of nowhere, he set up a beer pong table. It always pays to be prepared, my dudes.
Okay.
So then he beats him in a drinking contest, and he's like, "Sorry for letting that guy pee on you. I hope you're not pissed off." And they're like, why are you telling us dad jokes, Ichibro? Anyway, basically the author decided to change everyone's names. Have the
The
word
puns,
bro.
yes.
Well, no, to bro or bra or the word keg in them.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Brohime and Bratsuki. And Chad is, of course, Chad because Chad.
Chad.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to change. He's
I
named
love
Chad.
Chad.
What's your fucking
Yeah,
problem?
Chad's
huh?
great. Who are you? You're just a fucking human. All you can do is punch things. Punches things out of existence and kills it. Yeah, but I punch things really hard.
Based.
It's like,
Chad,
oh.
but he's Southern. I punch things real good,
I
though.
mean, he is though. He's Southern American Mexican who then moved to Japan.
Man, I moved to Japan to get away from the racism, and that did not pan out.
That did not pan out. No. No, it didn't. But, yeah, the Zanpak Toke. Get it? It's a toke. It's a Zanpak Toke. Haha.
Funny.
Fucking hilarious.
Funny you are.
Funny joke.
And
yeah.
it's a bong. It's a bong strapped to the sword.
Below it was a bomb.
So yeah, that's that. That's this chapter of humor. Once again, a story marked as humor made no one laugh. To be expected, really.
Yep.
But, you know, it's 9 o'clock, and I know we didn't really read that much fan fiction today, but I thought we covered some pretty good topics and talked about some pretty good subjects. And we're actually mostly on topic today as well. Even if we, drifted.
Heavily.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess we'll see everyone on Friday. I might be doing a Mass Effect run and streaming it.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Yeah, I might be doing
Sure.
that. Cause Mass Effect Trilogy Legendary Edition just came out on the Game Pass, so I'm like, oh, okay. Depending if my computer can run can run it and stream it at the same time, but if it can, then I'll probably try and do that. So I don't know what times I'll be doing that, but I guess I'll just ping Sneaky Watchers or something. Anyway, see you guys next time, because there's always more and it always gets worse.